So, guys, I need your view on what this looks like. There was a problem. A lot of creative people feel that after they've even filed their returns, that is the annual returns that are meant to file at the end of March every year. Remember, the law says that if you are above 18, you need to file your returns. Typically, your return should say, as a creative person, I earn money from different projects, different production houses, different contracts, different gigs throughout the year. The total money I earn is about 25 million, different times. Hey, but I'm not supposed to pay tax on the whole 25 million, right? The law allows you to deduct relevant allowable expenses that you incur in arriving at that money you earn. For instance, it costs you a lot to dress. It costs you a lot to dress up or to fly to a location or transport to a location to get a job done. For that reason, what you should be paying tax on should be on your net income. And if you don't do that, there'll be a problem. So during the recent film summit in Lagos, the end of January, somebody asked me that question after I delivered a panel a keynote address, and somebody asked me that unfortunately I can't track all my expense, all my earnings, and all my allowable expense for me to know the tax I'll pay. So what we did was that we hear your problem, we hear the creative people, we hear that problem, and so we decided to create what they call Acreative Simplex. Now, this is a free open source application that we're just developing. We hope to release it soon, but we want to get your feedback. That allows you as a creative person to create it as if it's a Facebook account. Create it, and then what you're doing is just simply logging onto your account. For instance, this is a demo page. Assuming in year 2026 that we're in, this is your home page. It shows that your total expense you've incurred is 10 million. Your own personal expense. It shows how much, it shows on the top level what you have done on accommodation, on what we call the allowable expense, broken into 4 types: your allowable expense, your rent, your non-allowable expense, and your tax-free expense. And it tells you how much percentage of your total cost you have incurred on it. You know, as you incur cost and as you just keep that record, whether through your phone or through this application, it will be showing you this database. That's just high level. If you come down, right, it will show you your profit and loss to date. See, your profit and loss is showing you this. Your total earnings maybe to date is 29 million. Your total expense is 10 million, right? And look at it, breaks down that 7.5 million is allowable, 1.8 is rent, 685 is non-allowable, and 159 is tax-free. So your net income is 19.3 million. That means truly your net income is 19.3 million. Just by your side there is also showing you your withholding tax balance. Meaning, if somebody was supposed to pay you 2 million and the person paid you 1.9 million, it means the person deducted 100,000 from you. There's a tracker showing that all your withholding tax have been booked, and it's also showing the withholding that you have collected, and then it shows the balance of withholding tax you have not collected. As that simple on your simple dashboard, your own personal dashboard, as a creative person. You can imagine that. But that's your profit and loss. But let's now go to the most important part, which is my income tax exposure. So for all of this money I'm earning, what is my income tax exposure at every point in time? You can imagine knowing what your income tax exposure is pronto at every point in time as you earn and as you record your expenses on a monthly basis. So it shows you truly your total earnings, but you can see it's deducting only your allowable expenses because that is what the law says. The law does not allow you to deduct non-allowable or to deduct the whole of your rent or to deduct your tax-free expense. So you see, it brings you your net income here, deduct your tax-free, deduct your rent relief. You can see it's a percentage of your rent. My job is not to explain to you the whole concept. My job is to explain to you how this application works. For me to get your honest feedback, if this makes sense to you as a creative person, can you use this on your own without, you don't need the help of anybody, right? And then it calculates your tax for you. So this is your chargeable income after you've deducted all your relevant deductions, and it automatically calculates what your tax is according to the new tax law. And if you have any withholding tax that you have already collected, that you have on hand, it deducts it so that it gives you what your final tax payable is. And then it tells you if you have any refund, which is none here. So you can see high level dashboard, Very, very sweet. Like, can you imagine you seeing this? It's not just only for tax purpose. You can even say, oh, of the whole 10 million I spent this year so far, so I've spent 3.77 on what? On some and wardrobes, 30% on flight, 35% on medicals. You can imagine you having that simple tracker. This is just to make your life easy, like keeping a simple tracker through your phone. And I want to get your feedback if this is kind of something that you will like to see, you will like to have, and it's free. Just do your thing. Wait. But guess what? As important as this thing is, this application, for you to get this beautiful dashboard you're saying, you're meant to do what? Create projects. So for every project, for every gig you get, you must create it as a project, right? You create a new project. You must create a new project at every point in time. Tell us the genre or whatever it is, the year to be released. Tell us the production company. You must tell us which production company you're doing it for. If the production company, if you don't, if the production company is not registered, you create a production company. There's a place you create here. You create a production company yourself. There's a place here to create production company. Yep. Yeah, create new production company. See it here. And the reason why you have to create a new production company is because of a reason I'll tell you later. You must create a production company, but not the production company you're working for. Why? And I'll tell you why. Very vital, because you are very busy people. You may be quite forgetful, but it will help you if you do this, right? So you tell us what was your role in the project, in the gig, whether you were cast, whatever your role was, anyway, um, your role, whether you were supporting or lead. No, I think there's something that needs to be fixed here. Whether you were cast, crew, or writer needs to be put up here. And then your role will determine. So this one of the things will correct. But who was the director? Who is the director or the writer of the content? How much was the contract fee for that job? Every job you do, there must be a contract fee. And then sometimes you need to put a pattern also. See, in Nigeria, we do a lot of things for each other. You're supposed to charge 5 million for something, but you charge 2 million. What the system is trying to do is attract your barter. So if it's supposed to be 5 million, you should have charged, but you charge 2 million, put 2 million here. But if it's supposed to be, if the barter in it is 3 million, put your 3 million. Meaning total is 5 million. It's necessary because you really want to know you're through what. And it's important I state this, right? Again, for some reasons in the future, write the description of what the movie is about, the content is about. Upload a short video of what part you partook in it, whether you're a writer or you are a cast or a crew. Just a short video that maybe exemplify yourself on it. Put it in and then attach the signed contract. You see, you can't forget all of these things if you keep it. Some of the reasons why I should attach the video, I won't say it now, is for some other product reasons that we can use this application to do as a marketplace. We can imagine you for everything you do, you put your best clip on it and you touch it there. Right? All right. So again, here I've told you here that you must create projects. You've seen the various projects you've created. Boom, 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 boom. You're keeping a track of all the projects you've ever done once you start using this application. It goes to your earnings. What do you do with your earnings? Like I said, this is the place where you're recording your earnings as you earn. You create your earnings. You select the project you earn from, put the amount. If there was a withholding tax charge, put the rate. If it's 2%, put the rate. Put the withholding tax that obviously to calculate withholding tax automatically anyway. So let's say you are supposed to earn 1,000 and withholding tax was 2%, for instance. This 2,000. Sometimes you do some project, they give you reimbursable, put your reimbursable. Well, you have your net income, you put the month you receive the money, you put the date, and then you put the bank account you receive the money from. Again, I'll show you all of these things as we move on. And you save. It goes in. You see, look at this. What this is showing you. Look at this. At every point in time, this application shows you your total earnings, withholding tax deducted, total reimbursable, and total net you've received so far at every point in time. Right? Again, that's just showing you earnings. You come to your expenses. For every time you incur any expenses, what do you do? You can see, look at these expenses. It's even showing you high-level figure, like I showed you earlier. The total allowable picks up all the figures one by one. Non-allowable, rent, and tax-free. Shows you everything. Right? If you want to see the breakdown of this, like this flight cost, it breaks and shows you all flight costs you've incurred. Do you see how smart it is? Just as you post. But the first thing is, whatever you put is what you get. So let's go. What do I do? I'll go to my expense now. If I want to log in an expense, all I need to do is say my expense is 10,000. What is my cost? Is taxi to on release. All right. When did I incur the expense? You may not always remember the date, but you just put a date. What category of expense? This is an allowable expense, so you put it. If it's not allowable, you will know. Look at it. Allowable expenses are expenses like this, e.g., accommodation and meals, costumes, essential personal service, flight, medicals, per diem, transport, training. The costs are there, right? Things that we know are liable, which you need to place your cost. Are liable in doing your job as a creative person, you must incur these expenses, right? All right. You put it. From which account did you pay? From which of a bank account did you pay it? Let's say you have two bank accounts, maybe you paid it from your OPay, you put OPay, and you create your expenses. It allows you to also attach maybe an evidence or something. You attach, right? And you do. You post, and automatically gives you all of this, right? Now look at this. It's also give you a withholding tax table. Now see why I told you you must create production houses now, because even though you don't know the entire details, right? So for every money you earn, it gives you an amount you that is due. If you have paid, right? If the withholding tax has been paid, it shows it has been paid. If there's a balance, to show. If the withholding tax has not been paid, for instance, look at this now. If the withholding tax has been paid, somebody deducted withholding tax from you, and it has been, you said it has been collected. You have to post it that it has been collected. Here now, you can actually do a send appreciation email to the production company that paid the withholding tax on your behalf. Meaning that the email will go to the producer's email and the accountant's email. Good. But guess what? Assuming somebody deducted withholding tax from you, and you have not gotten the withholding tax today, you will normally forget. But this application helps you to track it, because it tells you that this person is still owing 27,000 in withholding tax. You can always go here every time to remember. Remind, say, send a reminder email. See. And that reminder email will say specifically when they deducted the money, how much was the money, and why they must pay it. It will keep sending the reminder until you get it. You can imagine what we're trying to do here. And because the more withholding tax credits you can get, the better your life, so that you can reduce your tax exposure, right? Okay. So again, I'll just go back to the dashboard. So you see, for you to have a beautiful dashboard like this, your job first is to what? Create the project that every click you get involved in. Ensure you record your earnings as it happens. Post your expenses as it happens. Track your withholding tax and it happens. And then you will get a beautiful dashboard like this. It will not be perfect, but it will be almost accurate. Can you see my screen? You can see your profit and loss, your withholding tax balance at every point in time. You can see your income tax exposure. You see the one I just posted right now. You see the effect of it. You can be seeing it live on your screen, right? And guess what? You can be doing it every year. See, this is 2026, assuming. You can do it backwards and we can create it forward. Now, we did a consolidation. If eventually you want to do a bit of a reminder, a consolidation to say, hey, what is my, compare your earnings over time. This application just shows you. In 2026, you earn this. This was your liable. This was your rent. It gives you kind of compare it. Assuming you created a lot of data, you can compare. So you can imagine how many things this application can do, but something smart, simple, and it's free. Open to you to use. And then there's the settings which you may not need to bother about. Maybe you have to create a profile, obviously. We'll talk about that later. Bank information, which you have to create. And then in the future, we're going to create something like an availability matrix. Because we're going to turn this place to a marketplace where you can actually show if you are available or not for a gig or not. So a producer or somebody looking for people to come and do things can go to Acreative Simplex and search who is available or see who can do what. Again, it's an open source application. And I'll be glad to get your feedback. Again, maybe major feedbacks just before we kind of wrap up this application. Really. Thank you. How do I stop it?